Welcome to another live stream. It's Friday, August 5th. Where's the time gone? Tomorrow is UFC Vegas. I don't even remember the number, 59, 49, something along those lines. Thiago Santos versus Jamal Hill. I don't think we're going to spend too much time talking about that, but the big news of the day, and I just released a video. If you haven't checked it out yet, do me a favor and check it out after this stream. Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira for the middleweight title is announced for UFC 281. Sources were telling me yesterday. Breaking news, sources telling me. Adesanya versus Pereira, UFC 281 main event. I may have gotten some sources. I may have announced it yesterday in my video on the channel about Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler. According to sources. I don't know why I'm doing the earpiece thing again. According to sources, that's what happened. So it's announced today. That's the fight I thought would be the main event. I was fairly confident in that. I even mentioned it. I went back and just double-checked out of curiosity. I even mentioned it in a video from a month ago, the day after UFC 276. I said, I think this fight will take place in October or November. So, called that multiple times. Not that, if you watch enough of the sport, you can kind of guess what's going to end up happening. It's not always, guaranteed to be right, but I'm just hyped that it's happening, honestly. I don't care that, maybe I said, it's going to happen or not. What does that really mean? But a lot of people could have made that educated guess. But it is pretty cool that it's going to happen. This is one of my most anticipated middleweight fights ever. Again, if I had to go most anticipated fights, number one would sit at Anderson Silva versus Chris Weidman 2, UFC 168. Which unfortunately ended in disaster. Number two, or really tied for number one, would be Anderson Silva versus Chael Sonnen 2. That was a massive event. I've never been more excited. I might have been more excited for that one than the Weidman fight, honestly. So that's number two. And then, or tied for number one. And then number two or three is Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. Two world-class fighters. I talked about this all in my video, but I'm going to talk about it a little bit here. Obviously, it's the big news. But you have two world-class fighters, both elite-level strikers, fighting for a title. Super relevant in the division because they're fighting for the world title of the middleweight division. And then on top of that, you have an amazing backstory. Does it get any better? I'm so tired of manufactured, fake drama. And, oh, yeah, this and that, and I'm going to hit him over the head with a steel chair, and when I see him out in Miami, I'm going to drop him on his head, and, his wife's a deadbeat, and this and that. I'm tired of all this corny-ass trash talk. And I get it, maybe this isn't, this is just my opinion. Maybe some people love that stuff. For me, there is nothing better than when you take a high-level fight that's already very important. This is for a title. Doesn't get any more important than that. You take two high-level fighters, and then you throw on top of that, the cherry on the top is a great backstory. And I, for one, can't wait to watch the countdown. I very rarely watch the countdowns for any fights. I'm going to watch the countdown for Adesanya versus Pereira. This was the only fight to make. And what's crazy, and I wish I would have talked about it in my video. When I ended the video, every time this happens, I realize I forgot to mention 12 different things I would like to mention. But where does Adesanya go if he wins? Who's he going to fight? There's nobody. There's nobody else. Let's say he goes out there, he beats Pereira, he leg kicks, jabs, wins by decision, outstrikes Pereira for 5 rounds. No one's going to want to see that rematch. So where does he go from there? Who's he going to fight now? I mentioned some names in the video. Nasruddin Imavov, Andre Muniz, but they still got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. So, and then, can you imagine if Pereira goes out there and chins him? And then we have to wait for a rematch? That would be, I don't dislike Israel Adesanya. I'm not rooting for Adesanya to lose. I have a sneaking suspicion, spoiler alert, my early prediction is to Pereira. I have a gut feeling I'm going to watch film and I'm going to switch back to Adesanya. I think it's a little bit of recency biased. But I might stick with Pereira. Pereira has nuclear power. He needs 25 minutes to find a kill shot. And he will play that game where there's a chance that Alex Pereira could be up on the scorecards. Alex Pereira could win this fight by decision. And then that'll force Adesanya to have to attempt stuff that he does not have to attempt in other fights like Jared Cannonier. And one thing I am sick and tired of about Israel Adesanya, I think he gets a lot of unwarranted flack. But one thing I find incredibly annoying, whenever he has a boring fight and the criticism comes out from all the fans and this and that, he always blames his opponent. Well, the opponent wasn't attacking me. He didn't come after me so I could counter-strike him. Dude, it's on you too. He blamed Yoel Romero for their shit fight. It was on both of you. Just because you're the champion doesn't mean you get to just sit back and, oh, somebody's got to KO you. Somebody's got to bum rush you. Somebody can't fight a smart game plan against you. My dream scenario for Israel Adesanya, and again, I'm not an Israel Adesanya hater. I've been a defender of him, would be him lose a very close, boring decision and him just get outpointed. Then what's he going to do? He's going to complain that he won. That's what he's going to do. I would love for it to happen to him, honestly. And I'm not wishing that on this fight. But it's just, dude, you can't just blame everyone else for your boring fights. It's on both guys. There's no doubt about that. But stop absolving yourself of all blame by blaming your opponent. He did that with Yoel Romero. He did it with Cannonier. He did it with everyone. Whitaker, everyone. It's actually really annoying. And I find that be the most distasteful thing about Adesanya in general. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get into some questions here, guys. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat. But do me a favor if you could. If you haven't already liked the stream, do me a favor, click the like button. It's easy. It's free. It's right down below, the little thumbs up. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Right now, we're at 4,317 subscribers. Crazy, but I want to get to 5,000 before the end of August is going to be the goal. I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen, but that's the goal. So subscribe to the channel. I'm putting out videos almost daily. I'll be doing a live fight stream tomorrow. So do me a favor, do that. Go subscribe. If you want to support the channel even more, you can become a member of the channel. The link is down in the description, and I'll also post it. Give me 1 second. I'll post it in the chat as well. But if you become a member of the channel, it's $3 a month. You become part of the members-only Discord, where if you were part of the members-only Discord, you knew I was streaming tonight a couple hours ago. 4 or 5 hours ago, you knew I was going to stream tonight. I post every video I'm working on. I post a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff on my setup, what I'm working on, thumbnails, a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff I post on the Discord. Forget about that, though. We have a great community in the Discord where we're talking about MMA every single day. I get most of my MMA news from the Discord because between the 40 or 50 of us in there, somebody sees the news right away and posts it in the Discord. So besides that, you also get custom emojis. We just added a new custom emoji for the membership. Somebody can post that in the chat right now if they feel like it. We got custom emojis, custom loyalty badges for every month you're a member, and also you get extra live stream replays. So if anybody wants to become a member of the channel, the link is down in the description. I also just posted in the chat. All right, let's get to some questions. What is going on besides you? I hope you're doing well, and thank you for being a member, my friend. And I love the picture you have there. What is up, Roman? What's going on? Thank you for joining the stream. What is up, French fries? Then French fries using the O'Malley emoji, but it doesn't show up on StreamYard. Might throw a parlay for tomorrow. I wish you luck, my friend. I wish you luck as the emoji you used. Good evening, Joey. How was your day? My day was good. I hope yours was as well. I'm actually not super tired. I took a little bit of a nap around 4 o'clock or so. So I'm not particularly tired. I just dropped my Adesanya Pereira video. So that's out. I'm hoping that's going to do pretty well. Everything on the channel's been doing really solid lately. So I'm hoping that video picks up. I know it's a little bit late, so it might not do it tonight, but tomorrow I'm hoping it picks up some steam. What's up, Blaze1? Can you give an estimate for the betting odds of 281? I have no idea exactly how they work, but I would say slight Adesanya favorite. Do you think Izzy is scared of Pereira because he already knocked him out? No, absolutely not. What's up, Goat? What's going on? What are the odds for Adesanya Pereira? Because I might have to throw a bet on Adesanya by decision. That might be a very good bet. Do you think there will be another title fight on the card, or do you think Poirier Chandler will be 5 rounds? Poirier Chandler better be 5 rounds. But I doubt they put another title fight on the card. But it's possible. MSG, the UFC likes to stack those cards at MSG. So I'm praying Chandler wins. Man, very unfavorable matchup for him, especially if it's 5 rounds. Yeah, it's probably not going to serve him good if it's 5 rounds. I'm here. Let's go. I really like Izzy going to drop the belt to Alex and just ride off into early retirement. No way he rides off into early retirement. What is up, Merk Lee? Hope you're doing good. Thank you for being a member. The countdown is going to be insane. Maybe I can get it. Maybe I can jump into that countdown. I would love to be in that countdown. The countdown for 281 is literally going to be a real-life movie. I know. You can't write a better storyline. You can't write a better storyline. If Adesanya wins, he's either going to fight Rockhold, Costa winner, or move up. Yeah, I think... See, I don't see if Costa wins, does he fight Costa? I think if Rockhold wins and Adesanya wins, we definitely get Adesanya Rockhold. Alex is here. What's going on, my friend? I wouldn't be surprised if Izzy waits until round 4 or 5 to attack Alex, assuming Alex wastes his gas tank. True. You forgetting Izzy could fight Hamzat? Yeah, I don't think that's super likely. But it's possible. Who would win Ronnie Yaya or Ryan Hall? I'll say Ryan Hall by submission. Hamzat can KO Izzy if he fights reckless, but if Izzy plays it safe, he will beat Hamzat. Yeah, Izzy's going to play it safe, for sure. How would a Leon versus Hamzat fight go? That would be very interesting. I'd probably go Hamzat by decision, maybe, by just out-grappling him, controlling him on the ground, would be my best guess. Poirier versus Chandler. Gilbert Burns versus Jorge, Shavkat versus Thompson, Michel Pereira versus Michael Chiesa, Kevin Holland versus Li Jingliang, UFC 281. I like it. I like it a lot. I really want to see Poirier versus Chandler, which is already looking like it's going to be on that card. Burns versus Masvidal is another good one. I don't think Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's taking that Shavkat fight. He ain't got that Gilbert Burns mentality. So, will Tony fight before the end of the year? I'm going to say yes. But I have a sneaking suspicion he might not and fight in January, February against McGregor. Izzy's trash. Okay, Steve. That's fine. Could Bilal or Brady beat Burns? Yes. Yes, they could. I would pick Burns against both of them, though. Did you like the idea of the BMF belt? Maybe this might be a hot take, but absolutely not. I did not like the idea of the BMF belt. No, it's a fake belt. What's the point of it? It's just a fake belt. Who wins, Prime Fedor or Prime Lesnar? Prime Fedor. What's a better matchup in your opinion? Dan Hooker versus Tony versus Conor. Easy. Who's the new guy in the Discord? I have no idea. Who joined? Let's take a look. Jamil. It must be one of the members that joined the other day. But if you're in here, let us know. Let us know if you joined the Discord. There you go. Okay, where am I at? Who had a better career, DC or GSP? GSP. Steve go 23-1 in the UFC then. Okay. Hamzat emoji, Fabia emoji, O'Malley emoji. Are you more excited for 280 or 281 main event? Definitely 280. 280, I mean, Oliveira versus Islam has been a dream fight of mine for quite a while. So, 280. Is there any way to see Santos turning back the clock and winning? I think it's possible. He's still very explosive. Jamal Hill's still relatively untested. But very doubtful. Very doubtful. What movie did you go see? I went and saw Bullet Train. I have an AMC A-list, so I'll go see pretty much anything in Dolby. It was okay. I mean, it was about what I expected. I didn't enjoy it. I'm not happy about it. I would have rather been home making my video about Adesanya versus Pereira. It broke the second I sat down at the movie theater. I was like, damn it. So, what's up, Iceman? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming to the stream. I greatly appreciate you. Do you think UFC will give Yan Magomed? It's possible. It's the fight that makes sense right now. It's the fight that makes sense. I can't stand Izzy's interviews anymore. He's still saying stuff like he's gonna destroy Alex. He may very well. Look what he did to Paulo Costa. He might very well, but it is annoying. Talking up a big game and saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna put on a performance. I'm here to show off," and then you just fight like you're just very inactive for 25 minutes. Chandler has to go for an early knockdown. He has a little chance to win a decision. I agree. Favorite fight tomorrow, definitely the main event. Good morning to you as well. Imagine Sean beats Yan, Chandler beats Dustin, and Alex beats Izzy. Would be insanity. Go put a parlay on it. Maybe it'll happen. Thoughts on Conor retiring? I mean, how many times has that guy retired? How many times has that guy retired? It's been about 150 million times he's retired. Don't care. He's already retired in my mind. He's been retired since 2016. When's the last time the guys went out there and put on a decent performance? He got brutally finished in his last 2 fights. One, he snapped his limb and left on a stretcher after threatening another guy that he was going to leave in a body bag or leave on the stretcher. He ended up leaving on a stretcher. And, you know, regardless of what people want to say, fluke, not fluke, he didn't just randomly break his leg, okay? That doesn't just randomly break for no reason because he stepped on it. And if you do believe that narrative that his leg just randomly broke, then that's a way bigger problem for Conor McGregor. Because if his bones are breaking that brutally, he needs to stay away from the sport. Or he needs to drink some more milk. Because you can't just step back on your leg and it just randomly snaps in half. But Conor's been retired since 2016. He has 1 win since 2016. Keep in mind, 2016, Conor McGregor has 1 win in 6 years. And it's against a washed-up Cowboy Cerrone. That's insanity. That's insanity. If you go to when I started this channel, Conor had not won a fight he had not won a lightweight fight in 5 years and only won 1 fight. And it's just insanity. I could go on and on. Would Masvidal have been able to beat Ben Askren if he didn't land that flying knee because his weakness is wrestlers like Colby? Yes, because every round starts on the feet, and Askren has literally the most garbage stand-up I've ever seen in my entire life. So even if he took him down the first round, I think Masvidal would have KO'd him in the second round. I mean, Colby's a better wrestler than Askren probably, and mixes it in well, much better than Askren. And even Colby got clipped badly. So I think Askren would have got shut off regardless. Just join the Discord. There you go. Even though I think Weili should fight someone else after losing 2 in a row and beating an unranked Joanna, I think she will fight Carla on the 2. She deserves the title shot. She arguably beat Rose in the rematch. So I'm with it 100%. Is middleweight the weakest division? It might be, but I talked about it in my recent video. I think what happens is when you have a dominant champ and a hard champion to figure out in Israel Adesanya, you look at the division and you're like, oh, he can't beat him, he can't beat him, he can't beat him. And then the division just looks worse. So I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be quite honest. I think Burns is favored against Bilal. Burns has the BJJ to cancel Bilal's wrestling and the feet. Burns faster, hit harder. Yeah, I would favor Burns. Did you go to Venom? Did you go to movies in your Venom gear? Is that even a question, bro? Yeah, guys, don't forget to like the stream. Let's see how many likes we got on the stream. We got 12 likes and we got 34 people in the stream. Run up the likes on the stream. Run up the likes on the stream. Let's see. Discord. You got to become a member. What's up, Eric? Habib retired Conor. Nah. Conor retired Conor. Dude retired after beating Eddie Alvarez, basically. In my mind, that's what he did. I feel bad for Conor. He got bullied by Poirier in the trilogy after talking so much shit. Yeah, he said, Dustin, you're going to be leaving on a stretcher. And funny enough, look who ends up rolling out in a stretcher. Do you think Max is going to lightweight? Probably not, but I don't know what other options are for him. It's crazy to think how good prime John Jones was. I personally believe there wasn't a man alive that could step to him. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on the John Jones trains. Who would win in a fight at 155, Volkanovski or Islam Makhachev if he beats Oliveira? Probably Makhachev. Would Colby beat prime Habib at 55? It's hard to say what Colby would look like dropping down to 55, so I'm going to say no. I think they will put Burns versus Masvidal on the New York card too. I think it will be Jorge's last chance on a pay-per-view. I think it's possible. I don't know about his last chance. Though. What's up, John Rod? I think people are mistaking Conor's wins, losses. I mean, yes, Conor has 1 win, but hardly ever fights. But when does he against an absolute killer like Dustin Poirier and Habib in their prime? For me, it's irrelevant the facts remain. The facts remain. He has one win against a washed-up cowboy that he begged for rather than the fight in Justin Gaethje. And then he posted messages of him begging for a Diego Sanchez fight, which I think is the most embarrassing moment of his entire career. I'll be honest. Getting KO'd by Poirier, it is what it is. Getting brutally neck cranked by Khabib Nurmagomedov after talking mad shit. Okay. You know, getting 10-8'd in the first round and then his leg broken against Dustin Poirier in the trilogy after saying he's going to stretcher Dustin Poirier out and then he gets stretchered out. Okay. That's all fine and well against elite competition and it's all in the fight game. But begging the president of the UFC for a fight against brain-dead, CTE-riddled Diego Sanchez, who's hanging out with Joshua Fabia, the MMA, guru of sorts, and he has Diego, as his protege, hanging him from the rafters and kicking him in the head, punching him in the head, and chasing him around the cage with a knife, and Conor is begging for that guy. Embarrassing. Picking Alex Pereira to beat Izzy, zero wrestling from Izzy. Yeah, Izzy's not going to wrestle. Who would you pick? Molly McCann versus Miranda Maverick. Definitely Miranda Maverick. I'm shocked how many people are picking Alex Pereira. I just think the lack of performances by Izzy combined with Pereira just looking like an absolute savage, it's just a deadly combination. It's a deadly combination. And it's going to be a fun matchup. I mean, I don't think it's clear cut one way or the other. But I gotta watch some tape, and I'll obviously do my full breakdown and prediction. And I think a lot of recency bias as well goes into that. He starches Sean Strickland, and then you have to watch Adesanya barely beat Jared Cannonier. And I know I say barely, but Cannonier was having some moments in that fight. As boring as it was, I remember telling you guys in the Discord, it was close enough where I could see the judges messing it up. Now, I thought it would have been a bit egregious, but you get my point. Who would win in Bellator, Yoel or Anthony Johnson? Right now, as they are right now, probably Yoel. Can we get a poll for Izzy versus Alex? Yes. Give me 1 second. That Conor Dustin 3 press conference was so cringe. Yeah. Everything Conor says is so cringe. Dude acts like he's undefeated and he hasn't got a single decent win since 2016. Did you have Jones losing to Reyes on the scorecard? I had Jones barely winning, but I thought it was a toss-up. I doubt we see Conor again in the UFC, especially Dana leaving soon. We'll see. All right, let me pop in and do this poll really quick. Who wins at UFC 281? Is Israel Adesanya, Alex Pereira? Okay, let's throw that out there. Let's throw it out there. There you go. You guys can go vote. On who do you think will win? Keep throwing questions in the chat. I'm going to get to them in 1 second. Okay, let's see. Where were we at? Jones mentioned Francis fight back in maybe November. Do you think it might be 281? Doubtful now. Doubtful, but I would love that. But I think it's going to happen. I think there's a slight chance the UFC is just waiting for Ngannou to return and doing Francis Ngannou, John Jones in December or January. Keep up with the positive vibes and hard work, my brother. We're proud of you. Thank you, Andy Narain. I appreciate you, man. I don't know if I've seen you in the chat before, but thank you. Who does Conor need to face that's currently in the UFC to break the 2.4 million pay-per-view record? I'll tell you right now, if Conor comes back and starches Tony Ferguson, which isn't that great of a win, but I will, in my mind, I still believe Tony's decent. So, hold on, let me see something real quick. If Conor comes back and starches Tony Ferguson, let's say first round KO, okay, Tony's chin's gone, Conor gets a little bit of hype back, and then Islam goes out there and beats Charles Oliveira. And we get it Islam Makhachev versus Conor McGregor for the lightweight title. I think there's a chance. I mean, that would be a hell of a storyline, guys. A hell of a storyline. Makhachev versus McGregor. Sign me up. If Makhachev loses to Oliveira, I'd like to see him book the matchup. For me, if I'm Conor, that's the fight I'd be calling for. Because Conor is a very prideful guy. You know, he desperately wants that Khabib fight badly, and he knows that he's never getting it. And so the second best thing for me, if I was Conor, I want to go out there and knock out Makhachev. And I think Makhachev's a more manageable task than Khabib. So I hope that gets booked. That would be huge. Was Diego Sanchez on a fight streak at the time or no? I don't think so. I think he had been trading wins and losses and, you know, getting DQs. You know, he got kneed and then took a DQ even though he wasn't actually done. What's a better fight in your opinion, Gaethje versus Fiziev or Gaethje versus Makhachev? Gaethje versus Fiziev, for sure. What's up, my friend? What's going on? Pereira has done it before and he will do it again. People act like he isn't as good in MMA, but look at his last fight. This man is a straight killer. He's got the touch of death. He's got the touch of death. But the overwhelming confidence in Pereira has me, you know, drastically second-guessing myself. And obviously I'm going to do more research. So I did not even knew Diego got chased by Fabio with a knife. Yeah, there's a video online, actually. There's a bunch of guys in the cage, and Fabio is chasing him around with a knife. And saying, basically, you can dodge a knife, you can dodge a takedown. He's pulling some shit from the movie Dodgeball. Let's say COVID never happened. How does that Khabib-Tony fight end? Tony getting brutally smashed with ground and pound and probably getting finished. Just got here, but what do you think the main event of UFC in December, a John Jones fight or a McGregor return? One of the two. I'm going to say John Jones, Francis Ngannou. What is the biggest Charles versus Islam? What is biggest, Charles versus Islam, Izzy versus Pereira? For me, it's Charles versus Islam, but they're both very big fights. Will Dana be involved with the UFC in 5 years? I'll say yes, but it might be more limited. Adesanya versus GSP when he came to fight Bisping. Adesanya definitely wins. He would stuff the takedowns and outstrike GSP. It seems like all McGregor's return opponents busy. Who will he fight on his return? Tony Ferguson would be my best guess. Did you think Jones versus Gus 1 was a robbery? Absolutely not. I thought Jones won. I actually didn't think it was as close as people made it out to be, but I haven't watched it in a long while. Who do you think has the best style in the top 5 of 155 to defeat Khabib? I personally think it's Chandler. Probably Chandler, but I think Chandler would eventually get taken down and subbed. Well, no, probably Oliveira. Oliveira would be first, and then Chandler. Oliveira number 1, Chandler number 2, Islam number 3. What's going on, White Magic? How are you doing? How are you doing? I hope the betting lines sway towards your guys' votes. I put Housel and Izzy. I don't know if that's necessarily smart, but I knew what you're saying. What is up, Tommy? What's going on? Okay, big ups. What's going on? Naked Conor McGregor. Yan will be stretchered out of the cage with no serious injury. I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. Get the likes up, guys. Yeah, let's see where we're at. We got 50 people in here. Guys, why have we not all liked the stream? Why have we not all liked the stream? It takes 1 second. I would really appreciate it. I would really appreciate it if you guys like the stream. And don't forget, I want you guys, each and every one of you, after this stream, to go watch my Adesanya versus Pereira newest video that I just put out before I even started this stream. So a new video tonight and a stream, and I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. Whew. So, do you think Conor could actually beat Islam? It's possible, but doubtful. Can't believe people still think Conor can do anything these days. Dude can't beat anyone in the top 15, welterweight or featherweight. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. McGregor Gaethje would still be fun. I'd like that, man. I want that fight. If that never happens, that's a travesty. Do you think Wonderboy is still elite? It's questionable. It's questionable. Probably, but he's still not like top 5 elite. What fighter watching live did you get goosebumps watching? Me, it's Conor. Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva, I was a straight up fanboy for. I used to get it was a big fight. I start shaking a little bit. You know what I mean? I was so excited. I was like, oh, please don't get KO'd. My entire year was ruined when Weidman KO'd him and then his leg broke. Like when his leg broke, I was literally devastated. So, And I'm happy to see, he's moved on to something, he can, beat guys up, knocking Tito Ortiz out and, making some money still. If Conor knocks out Makhachev or beats him by decision, Khabib might come back. Doubtful, but what a compelling storyline that would be. Will Darren Till fight before the end of the year? No. He'll probably sign for a fight and then pull out with an injury. That'd be my guess. Who's next for Chris Curtis? I'm going to say Dricus du Plessis. I wish you posted once a day, man. I love your videos. Pretty close to once a day. Maybe not every single day, but pretty close. Did you have a follow-up interview with Chris Curtis after his last fight? Not yet, but I will. What's the road for Cody Garbrandt to get back on the right track? Ronnie Yaya. They had that fight booked. Cody Garbrandt or Ronnie Yaya pulled out with an injury. I want him to rebook that fight. I think that fight made perfect sense. Bryce versus Brian Ortega would be very interesting. That's the fight that I've been calling for since Bryce beat... who did he beat? Edson Barboza. GSP versus Whitaker at the middleweight, both in their prime. Whitaker would win, for sure. He'd stuff the takedowns and he's a better striker. At welterweight, maybe GSP. If you were such an Anderson Silva fan, what was your reaction to the first Chael fight? That's actually before I was a huge Anderson Silva fan. That's actually the fight that really got me to become a hardcore fan. And it was insanity. I mean, I was hooked ever since then. To watch him get beat up for 4.5 rounds and then pull off a triangle choke at the tail end of the 5th round. And then he didn't even look damaged. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched it, but he didn't even look damaged afterwards. Like, he didn't really have any bruises, cuts on his face or anything. He just looked tired. And he pulled off the victory, retained his belt. It was insanity, and it really changed me to a hardcore fan. If Pena makes adjustments, do you think she has a chance in the trilogy? What kind of adjustments does she make? Because she needs a... Hold on, my nose is itching terribly. I hate when this happens. When you start talking, my mustache starts tickling my nose. Absolutely not. I mean, she's going to have to make massive adjustments. She's going to have to, like, cut off her arms and have somebody else's arms sewed on. And I mean, she's got to train striking for at least 25 more years. And she's got to take EPO and HGH. And I mean, her striking is just god-awful. Some of the worst striking I've ever seen in my life. Do you watch Silva's boxing matches? No, but I've seen the highlights from them. I think Masvidal is going to go on a losing streak out the UFC like Woodley. Could very well be. He's already on a 3-fight losing streak, correct? Yeah, 3-fight. 2 to Usman, 1 to Colby. What's a hype train you were sad ended? For me, it's Kevin Holland. Wanted to see him fight Izzy. I don't remember. Based on Gon's athleticism, quick adapting nature of any sport, do you think he can make the necessary adjustments to counter Blades wrestling and he'll be expecting Blades to wrestle? Well, he's not fighting Blades. He's fighting Tai Tuivasa. But if he does, I think he could make the adjustments and improve. I've never understood why Justin Gaethje gasses so much off guys putting forward pressure on him. Running backwards is a lot more difficult than moving forward. That's why. My saddest hype train end was Tony versus Gaethje. I thought Tony was going to win because he was calling out Khabib if he can't handle Gaethje. Yeah, I actually picked Gaethje in that fight. I knew that was going to happen. I know a lot of people for some reason think I'm a Tony fanboy, but I picked Gaethje and I thought Gaethje was going to be dominant in the striking. The only question mark I had was about the gas tank of Gaethje because he came in on short notice. But I don't know. I don't really consider that a hype train ending. I mean, Tony had hype, but a hype train I consider like an unproven type talent. But if that's what you consider a hype train, then yes. Listening to you in the background while I work my night shift. Thank you, Mario. Appreciate your support. Do you remember when Tyron Woodley said the UFC and the fans don't like him because of racism? Vaguely. I just rewatched Usman versus Colby 2 like 5-6 hours ago, and it was even closer than I remembered. It was crazy that one of those two are just so equal to one another. Yeah, it was very close. Joey, am I crazy to think that Gaethje is an easy fight for Conor if he checks leg kicks? Yes, you are. Because Conor gasses. Conor gets his legs chopped. Conor, needs to drink more milk because he broke his leg in his last fight. In the fight before, they got KO'd, but he blamed his leg. But Conor did invent shoulder strikes, so there's that. As someone who dabbled in the sport, if it doesn't get talked about enough how brutal it is on the body, It's actually more rare to fight with no injuries. Completely different, completely to watching. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Everyone's injured all the time. Adesanya, okay, come on, man. Noon said she's gonna take some time off. Do you think they make an interim belt? No, absolutely not. Pena needs to train her boxing only and put focus into it because Nunes was wrecking her. Yeah, Pena's not. I mean, I just think that's something you can't fix. I just don't think that's something you can fix. Come on, dude. We don't need to be saying this type of stuff. We don't need to be saying this type of stuff in the chat. We're here to talk about MMA. We're not here to talk about, Israel Adesanya's, preferences. Come on, dude. Come on. What's the best KO of all time in your opinion? Probably Edson Barboza, Terry Edom. Probably Edson Barboza, Terry Edom will be my best guess for best KO. I mean, spinning back heel kick, stiffen him up. Look at the poll. 69% are taking Alex Pereira. That's absolutely insane to me. Tony's the saddest one. Any way Ty pulls off the upset? It's possible, but doubtful. Did the UFC do Tony dirty? Kind of. I mean, making him fight Justin Gaethje on short notice, that's a tough task for anyone. I think Masvidal is underrated right now. I think he still beats probably most of the top 15 while people think he loses to all of them. Maybe. I think he loses to a lot of them. Is it crazy to think Vettori beats Whitaker? I don't think it's crazy, but I don't agree. How good does Usman do against Adesanya at 185? Bad. Gets destroyed. People are going to be real sad when O'Malley hype train comes to an end at 280. I know. It's the O'Malley cult-like following is going to be crying. T-Wood pissed me off every time he pulled the race card. Sometimes he pulled it up at random times too, and it was so dumb. Knowing Conor's alter ego, when do you realistically see him fighting? I say probably not till like the spring, honestly. I think he's checked out. I mean, he's got so much money. He doesn't have the will to fight anymore. Stop it. O'Malley is most likely getting the finish. No. Masvidal KOs Burns. Hot take. No. I think it's possible. Burns is kind of chinny. I've heard people saying Nate can win. Are they delusional or can you see a path? They're delusional. Absolutely delusional. What is Sean O'Malley's best chance of success against Piotr, and do you think if he keeps it at range, he has a better chance? No. I think his best chance is to brutally KO him in the first round. So crazy to see disrespect Israel is getting. Already has 5 title defenses, for sure. It's crazy. It is crazy, but myself, I guess, I'm not disrespecting him. I just like Alex Pereira right now for the win. Who is your most favorite fighter to watch? Only inside the cage, I don't really care about personality. Pure fighting style, favorite fighter to watch right now? Maybe Volkanovski. If John Jones was still competing, probably John Jones. Piotr Jan is another one. Something like one of those guys. What's next for Wonderboy? I don't know. People are suggesting Shavkat. I don't think he's taking that fight. Wonderboy just doesn't want fights that aren't winnable. That's why he's not taking a lot of these matchups. I'm going to be jumping for joy if he beats the brakes off of Sean. Honestly, I don't see it going down in like that. Okay? Conor not coming back? Maybe. Will Glover Yuri be this year? I have a feeling it might not happen. I have a feeling that might not happen. Maybe the UFC goes in a different direction. But if it does happen, maybe it could happen on MSG. It could happen on MSG maybe. They want to stack that card up. Or it will be December if it happens. Do you think a matchup ever beats 2.4 million? Yes, but I have no idea when. Jones versus Glover rematch, who wins? John Jones for sure. I'm so fed up with hearing McGregor in the news cycle. I just don't care anymore. I know. Anytime he tweets something or posts a picture on Instagram, the MMA media sites are just eating it up. It's so annoying, actually. If I hear one more time to not count Diaz out versus Chimaev, my ears will bleed. I know, in the MMA media, I can't speak for all of them. But the MMA media has been radio silence that the fact that this is a terrible fight. Because you know what? They love those clicks. They love those clicks. They love those retweets and likes and this and that. They're pretending it's a fight because it's good. What's good for the UFC's business is good for the MMA media's business. You know, I've made a couple of videos about Khamzat Nate, but I'm just being honest. I've gotten a lot of hate for it. I don't care. I do this channel for fun. I give my honest opinion regardless of what anyone else thinks. The MMA media, I've seen people pretending like, oh, you can't wait for this fight. Nate Diaz, you know, he's tough as nails and he could shock you and this and that. I mean, the only way he loses is if the only way Nate Diaz wins if Khamzat breaks his leg kicking the shit out of Nate Diaz. That's the only way Khamzat loses. But the MMA media, the main, when I say MMA media, I mean the main reporters and journalists that are actually considered MMA media are pretending like this is a good fight. Oh, because it's such a spectacle and we can write plenty of articles that'll get plenty of clicks and, you know, it's relevant to us and you know, we're a lot of fan interest because a bunch of casuals like it. It's times like this, specifically in relation to the Khamzat Nate Diaz fight. It just makes me hate MMA. Because what's happening is the UFC is doing their typical bullshit and they're making this matchup for selfish reasons. And because it's two hot names, the MMA media doesn't say anything about it. I mean, I haven't checked everything. I bet you there's not one negative article about this fight. There should be an article out. If I had a website, there'd be an article out there right now, something like, you know, 5 reasons the UFC shouldn't have booked Khamzat versus Nate, or whatever the hell they title articles. Something absolutely trashing the fight, because that's exactly what it is. It's a piece of trash. Nate Diaz versus Khamzat Chimaev is a big old pile of shit. It's a shit-stained fight. It's a shit-stained main event. And it's a shit-stained card as a whole. You know, looking at it in its totality, it is a shit-stained card. This is the first time in a long time I've said, you know what? I want to skip this pay-per-view. It's straight up garbage. And what I may do, just to make myself feel better, I may stream UFC 270... What is it, 279? Yes, 279. I may do a live stream watch-along for Khamzat versus Nate. Because my only goal is have as many people as possible not order it. And if I can get people to not order it by, hey, you can come hang out with me and watch while I watch it, that could be a potential option. Because really, I need to fight it back again. I need to fight back against this. And my if I didn't run this channel, I would almost definitely skip it. Just because I believe the only way to affect anything is to vote with your dollars. You know, there's certain things I don't like. You guys know I don't like talking about the YouTube boxing. I know I'm nobody. I have a very small audience. I don't even discuss it because I don't want to give it any attention regardless. And with that fight, it's one of those things like the only way I can have an effect is by not paying for it, not giving the UFC money for it. And anybody watching this channel, if you say, look, I was going to order it, but I won't order it if you live stream it. If you live stream, like do a watch along, not actually live stream, I can't. My YouTube channel get taken down. But if you guys want live stream watch along for that fight card and you won't order it, you know, I can get at least like 5 or 10 people to tell me they won't order it because of that. I would be honored to stream that card because that card is just a piece of shit. I'm actually getting pissed just talking about it. I just want to punch something right now. And for all the fans that are saying, you can't count Nate Diaz out. Nate Diaz choked out Conor in the first fight. Nobody gave him a chance in that. This is not the same thing. This is not the same thing. This is the UFC using a paid assassin in Khamzat Chimaev to go out there and devalue Nate Diaz as much as physically possible. And I'm praying to the MMA gods. You guys aren't going to like this. I want Nate Diaz to pull out of this fight like 2 days before. That would serve the UFC right. And what they would do is then they would extend the contract of Nate Diaz and blah, blah, blah. But it would just serve them right. They would have to cancel the event. The event is absolutely dog shit right now. Look at the event if you don't believe me. It's dog shit. And I really think there needs to be some type of revolt for this. We have to revolt against these type of cards. This is a garbage card. And there's some people out there saying, well, this fight's so big they don't need a good card. That's horseshit. That is horseshit. The UFC is doing this vindictively. And I believe it's because Nate Diaz draws in enough pay-per-view buys where the card will get by, it'll salvage by regardless. And they're saying, you know what? We don't want to give him a strong card underneath of him because he gets pay-per-view points. So we want to disincentivize people to buy it. We'll still get the same amount of pay-per-view buys we would get with a lesser card anyway. With a better card, but a lesser main event. A lesser name value of main event, if that makes sense. And we'll just keep on going. We'll watch Hamzat literally beat the brakes off of Nate, probably by doctor stoppage. Nate's going to absorb a bunch of CTE that he doesn't really need, and he's going to get devalued. And then the UFC going to say, Dana's going to say, well, did you see what happened to him in the Hamzat fight? He got dominated. He just didn't belong here anymore. All because Nate Diaz does not want to re-sign a contract. That's the only reason this fight's happening. And I haven't seen anybody trashing it. If somebody can point me to somebody trashing it in like the prevalent MMA media, I don't mean random people on YouTube, I mean like prevalent MMA fighting, MMA junkie, anybody at ESPN, anybody. Point me to it because I haven't seen it. Now I have no idea where I was at. Because literally I just went on like a 20-minute rant about that. Guys, if you have not liked the stream yet, like the stream. We got 60 people in here. We got 35 likes. I would greatly appreciate it if you like the stream. Yeah, so let me see where I ended up. Where did I end up? I can't even find where I was at now. Sorry guys, now I'm massively behind in the chat. I've read this, I think. I'm fed up. Oh, here we go. James Cosgrove at 12:25. So we just went on a 10-minute tangent. Where does the time go? Okay. So now I know where I'm at. How would Figgy versus Umar end? Figgy getting out wrestled. Probably just decision. Hamzat or Shavkat? Hamzat. My brother sold my Venom gear even though I sternly warned him. Should we get the boys together and rough him up? We're going to do more than rough him up. We're going to teach him a lesson. He's not going to be able to walk for at least a couple years. He's going to need immense physical therapy. Michael Pereira versus Wonderboy. Okay, fine. Shavkat or Hamzat, who would you pick? I'd pick Hamzat right now. Give Wonderboy fun matchups with strikers. There is none. Welterweight division is full of grapplers. Hamzat is my favorite fighter in the UFC. I hope he goes out there and beats Nate Diaz to get him a title shot. I don't know because betting odds are 50-50 through the stake. Okay, I'd be cool with Wonderboy Kevin Holland. That's a good fight. Wonderboy Kevin Holland, book it. The media who do mention how bad the fight is, like Dan Hardy, Dana calls him an idiot. I did see that. You're right. I did see that. I forgot about that. Yeah. Dana's just promoting, and the MMA media is just a publicist arm of the UFC. What if Nate pulls out 1 week prior to UFC 279? Won't that be hilarious? It will screw. That's what I want. That's what I want. Are you going to see the fight live? What fight? But no. UFC 279 already has 11 fights. Do you think they will be adding fight? Nah. Honestly, I just went through all that. I don't think I can support that. I like your theory that Ariel is under Jake Paul's payroll. I've been saying it for literally over a year. Ariel Helwani is collecting a check from Jake Paul. And let me tell you guys this, and I wish I had a channel to prove this to you. I said for years that Ariel Helwani was getting a check from the UFC. I said this for years. What happens when the whole debacle, he gets banned from events, this and that? What happens? Ariel comes out crying and saying the UFC were signing his checks, and that's why they were angry with him. So what happens when you see these reporters, and I've talked about this quite a bit on the channel, not much recently, so if you're new to the channel, you probably haven't heard this. When you see these reporters that are consistently breaking news, like, I mean, I'm not talking about no small news. I'm talking like these big fights, reporting on Twitter. Sources are confirming to me the UFC's working on this main event or that main event. And there's usually like one or two of them that are just constantly breaking this news. They are under the UFC's thumb. okay? Which means they will never say anything negative, because what happens is they don't have real sources. It's just the UFC feeding them news. So I guess they do have real sources, but you get my point. It's not like they're doing some investigating journalism. They're sitting at home. Dana calls them up, or someone texts them, say, hey, here's a fight announcements. Go tweet it out. The UFC and Dana White uses the MMA media as glorified publicists. Ariel used to be on the UFC's payroll. I knew that for years. I swear you would have heard me talk about it for 4 or 5 years, 6 years. And then one day it would have came out, and I would have been like, I told you. 100% gun to my head right now, and we're going to find out the truth. Gun to my head. Is Ariel on the Paul brothers payroll, specifically Jake Paul? 100%. He is actively promoting Jake Paul within the MMA community. He's getting paid to do it. There's no doubt in my mind. Probably 6 figures, honestly. 6 figures. He's on the payroll. Jake Paul is paying Ariel Helwani. You heard it here first. And I don't know if we'll ever find out the truth, but I would almost bet my life on that. I would bet my life on it. Gun to my head, yes. 100%. Ariel Helwani was calling out Dana for making the Diaz fight, though. So was Dan Hardy. Ariel Helwani, okay, fine. That's fine. Fair enough. But Ariel Helwani's kind of lost his... I don't know what you want to say about it, because Ariel Helwani now has become the UFC criticism machine, because now he's not under their payroll anymore. He doesn't like the way he's been treated by them, so he does everything to criticize. But I do appreciate that, and I do respect that he is calling that out. But he's probably not calling out as much as he should, because then he's going to be disrespectful to Nate. What's he going to say? Well, Hamzat's easily going to dominate him. He's not probably going to say that. If Izzy wins by submission, does he leave Alex Pereira? No, I'm not even... Did you see the recent additions to 280? Nikita Krylov versus Volkan Ozdemir? Yes. There's been a bunch of good fights. I might have to make another video just talking about how amazing that fight card is. Hamzat beats him up badly, chokes out Nate before the end of the first round. I think there's a chance Hamzat might go out there and just toy with him. Being a fan of the UFC is like being in an amusement park waiting in line for 5 minutes of excitement. What if the fight Nate wanted? That's bogus. That's absolute bogus. That's a false narrative that's being driven home by the media, by Nate Diaz even, by Dana White. What they really mean by that, and I've talked about this on stream before, and I hate to even go over this. People keep saying, Nate Diaz wanted the fight. Nate Diaz wanted it. Oh my God, Nate Diaz wanted the fight. Why are we complaining? That's not true. Nate Diaz wanted out of his contract. The UFC told him the only way you're getting out of your contract is fighting Khamzat Chimaev. So Nate Diaz, what's he going to do? Nate Diaz, here's what I want you guys to ponder in your heads. Is Nate Diaz going to cry and whine, and is he going to say, the UFC gave me a terrible matchup, and now I'm going to go out there and get destroyed, and I didn't want this fight because I knew I was going to lose? Is he going to say that? You think he's going to say that? No. And what I would do if I was Nate Diaz as well, I would say, I wanted this fight. I picked this fight. I want the baddest guys. I want the hardest matchups. Because on top of not wanting to look, weak and, bad in general, just overall just not a good look, I wouldn't want people thinking, yeah, the UFC bodied me. The UFC bodied me. Because that's essentially what he'd be saying. He'd be saying, look, I didn't want this fight. This isn't a matchup I want. He would look scared of Khamzat. No, I'd say, you know what? This is what I wanted all along. This is what I wanted all along. That whole narrative, Nate wanted this fight, is just terrible. How do you think the Nate Diaz and UFC negotiations were looking in the last few months? I think the UFC wanted him to wait it out for Conor. And they said, look, if you want to fight sooner, we'll give you like a Poirier or Ferguson. But we need you to sign like a 9-fight deal. And he's like, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And Dana keeps saying the shit. Oh, he's asking for Ngannou. He's asking for Adesanya. Dude, he was kidding. Calm down. What's your pound for pound number one? Volkanovski. Israel wins. Okay. I usually stream UFC, but I'm gonna relish it in 279. I hope so. Why do you think they're making it such a bad card? Nate Diaz gets paid for how many buys it sells. So they don't want to put any extra money in his pocket, and he's already going to sell them enough pay-per-views where it'll be in line with the rest of the pay-per-views, if not better anyway. Israel is better, but Alex just has a natural, harder one-punch power. There you go. I actually won't order it. You'll save me money on groceries and my Venom gear. There you go. I will not order it. So did Cannoneer. I don't know what we're talking about there. We've been discussing it in another stream. We hadn't talked about it specifically. What adjustments... Hold on one second. What adjustments can Colby do to beat Usman? I guess more pressure. I don't know. More pressure maybe, but it's like sometimes he's worried about the power of Usman. He's just got to land more shots, honestly. But that's... I mean, they're just so even. Wait for Usman to get in a couple more wars and slow down a little bit. Imagine Nate taps the mat for 1, 2, 3 for submission as soon as the ref rings the bell, flips Dana the bird, and walks out. I would absolutely laugh my ass off. I'd giggle like a little schoolgirl. It'd be the happiest moment of my life. And then I would dispute my credit card for the purchase of the pay-per-view. That would be legendary. What do you think Nate will do once he's out of contract? Try to go box the YouTube boxers. Do you think Khamzat is ready for Usman? Yes. Who else is fighting on the 281 card? Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier. Who will realistically be on December's 282 event? I think it'll probably be Jones and Ngannou. I'm holding out hope for that. If not, it'll be Jones Stipe. I think Khamzat versus Chimaev. I think Khamzat Chimaev is overhyped, but most likely ends soon. So I'm putting okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, just beat Burns. I think he has a great skill set to become champion. I'd love to see him fight Usman after the Edwards fight. Should Brandon Moreno do more wrestling grappling against Figueroa in the 4th fight? Because last time they were on the ground, Brandon submitted him. Yes. Are you more excited for 280 or 281? 280. I'm more excited for Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev. Do you see the new fight with Randy Brown and Trinaldo? No, I did not. Can you give me a sneak peek of what your prediction to Cruz Vera is? Either Cruz by decision or Vera is just going to beat him up. Just land the harder shots and probably beat him up and finish him in like a 4th round. That's what I would go with. Big ups, Ariel, and nepotism. Fair enough. What is your dream matchup in 205? Dream matchup in 205? Prime Yuri Prohaska, prime Anthony Rumble Johnson, or prime John Jones, prime Anthony Rumble Johnson? Do you like the MMA Hour? I do not watch it, other than like some clips that get reposted on Twitter. You still doing a grading UFC 278 video soon? Yeah, probably on Monday, honestly. Or maybe Sunday. Do you know how mad Nate would be if Khamzat actually toyed with him and showboated? I think he might. I think he might be toying with him in there. Usman versus Khamzat, whom you pick? I'll go Khamzat. Lamau, great Nate Diaz impression. I don't even know if I was doing that. What's up, Prediction Shark? But wouldn't other promotions be happy Nate's cheap, assuming he gets ragdoll? I don't know if they still wouldn't get him for cheap. Yes, I do. I think Leon has a legitimate chance to dethrone Usman. What are your top moments for John Jones? Best win, best fight, best finish, scariest moment? 7 questions in 1 question, bro? Top moments from John Jones? I'll say his amazing spinning back elbow where he hurt Gustafsson and turned the tide in the first fight after he was kind of losing. So, if you could pimp slap one fighter with no repercussions, who would it be? Tony Kelly, but he's not a UFC fighter anymore. Colby would need to get on some PEDs as Usman. Okay. Will UFC 279 be worse than 277? Yeah, without a doubt. Is Chandler versus Dustin official? It's not 100% official, but it looks like it's going to happen. It's either going to be at UFC 281 at MSG or 282 in December. Let's say Nate walks out. Would they actually refund the pay-per-view? No, they wouldn't. They would say, you bought it for the other fights. Card subject to change. I would want Fiziev, Gaethje on 281, maybe possibly Burns, Masvidal. I love those ideas. I love them. Besides Izzy, Alex, and Poirier and Chandler, who else is fighting? No official announcement. No official announcement yet. We don't know, but hopefully it should be a stacked card. It should be. Are you excited for the Cruz Vera match? I think it's a very interesting and underrated fight. Yes, but the card leaves a lot to be desired. To be honest, I went off the grid for a few days to return to news about Nate versus Khamzat. It still feels like a weird alternate reality. Yeah, you must have jumped into an alternate dimension. You're in the multiverse now, my friend. If Aldo becomes bantamweight champ the way he is doing by climbing up the rankings as opposed to being double champ by only fighting one guy, would he surpass Jones, GSP in terms of greatness? The way he's doing by climbing up the ranks. Doubtful, but in my mind, he probably would. But in the minds of everyone, probably not. What would UFC or the media do to Nate if Nate just walks out of the cage? The UFC would probably sue him, honestly. Do you think the UFC think Nate could beat Jorge or Tony? Why Hamzat? Did the UFC think Nate could beat Jorge or Tony? They just wanted to get him the most hellacious beating possible. Any updates on 279? Nope, it's still a turd burger and a half. For me, France's card is looking much better than 279. France's card is way better than 279. If Nate walked out, would he get beers thrown at him or cheered? That's a tough one. I wonder what would happen there. Probably people throwing stuff at him. I think they'd be pissed. Realistically, what can the UFC do to make 279 better? Add some good fights to it. There's none right now. Any card is better than 279. That might be my very rare F card when I grade it. Do you think Dana will be in attendance for Nate Hamzat? Definitely. Dana's going to be, his pants are going to be getting tight while he watches Hamzat just ground and pound the shit out of Nate Diaz and, rip his eyebrows off, basically. Do you think Pettis should think about hanging up the gloves? He hasn't won since... Dude, Pettis should have hung up the gloves forever ago. He's clearly not had the fire to compete for a long time. I noticed it a long while ago. Dude's just not in there. He's collecting a check. I told everyone in the Discord. He's only showing up to collect the check at this point, guys. It's sad to say. He's a former champion. I get it. He's only there for the check. And it's actually really disappointing, to be quite honest. Do you think Paddy Pimblett fights on 281? Probably not. I think someone gifted me a sub, but I wasn't in the stream. My bad. Well, I don't know how you got it. You got a membership. You opted in at some point. So, yeah, you got a membership to the channel, my friend. So, now you get a badge next to your name. I think Johnny Walker versus Ian Cutelaba currently co-main event for 279. Let them have... Yeah, that doesn't even belong to be the main event of the prelims. We are all saying what ifs, but what if Nate will actually do it? Pull out, leave, or fight? I would love it. If he did, the UFC would sue him. UFC would sue him for sure. 280 just got even better. Yeah, 280 is just filthy. And I think the UFC is going to say, well, look at 280, look at 281. That's why the card might be a little bit lacking. What's a worse fight, Makhachev versus Green or Nate versus Chimaev? Nate versus Chimaev. But both of them are pretty bad. What's your favorite style to watch? Super technical striking, but has power and a variety of attack. Maybe Rafael Fiziev or Charles Oliveira. Pressure style. I'll say pressure. Pressure heavy. PFL paid Pettis $750 for his loss. That is crazy money. Yeah. Pettis hasn't had it in him forever. He just hasn't had it in him forever. Okay, guys, keep the questions coming. I'm going to end this poll now. 63% think Alex Pereira will win. 63%. That's straight up insanity. I did not expect that. Okay. I think Colby will be the backup if Nate or Chimaev pull out. Very doubtful. Very doubtful. Will Usman retire before he has to face Hamzat? No. But he'll probably... I got a feeling he's going to duck him. Prime Kane versus DC. Who wins? Kane. Guys, if you're one of the 62 people watching right now, and there's a lot of people lurking in the chat right now, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I put out videos pretty much every single day. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I want to get to 5,000 subscribers soon. That's the goal. So do me a favor, scroll down, double check, make sure you're subscribed. Will Nate land any good shots? Define good shots, but maybe. He might land a couple punches. It seems like as bad as 279 is, 280 is just good. Just as good. Yes, I would say that's accurate. Yeah, 280 card is looking crazy. 280 is one of the best cards I've ever seen. I'm kind of mad that it's in the dead of afternoon. Volkov said he's going to be on the 280 card. Not a super great fighter, but still a decent card. Yeah, that makes it even better. That's a great matchup, whoever he fights. Volkov, I'm always interested to see. Hopefully no pullouts of 280. I hope you're right, but who knows? Imagine we live in an alternate dimension where Hamzat beats up Nate for 4.5 rounds and ends up getting choked by Nate. What's the future for Hamzat? Could you imagine? I would laugh my ass off. But I get so many comments. You didn't know what you were talking about and this and that. I saw news about Volk being a backup for 280, but I don't know if it's official or not. I think I saw that somewhere too, but I don't remember if it was official. I think that's stupid. I don't want to see Volk jumping in on short notice. I don't care if he knew he was the backup. I just think it's not ideal circumstances for either fighter. I'd rather him cancel Islam versus Oliveira and rebook it. Who do you think will be the backup, Islam or Charles, was to pull out? I don't want anyone. I don't want anyone back up. Rebook the fight if someone pulls out. People might call me a hater, but Patty isn't a very good fighter. You're right. Joey, how could you think that Hamzat is ready for Usman currently? Because Usman's striking is literally dog shit. And if you're not worried about the wrestling of Usman, you have a massive advantage. The UFC should cut Gregor Gillespie. I agree. Not Yair, though. If UFC 280 actually in an afternoon brawl, you got to be kidding me. That's so stupid. Yeah, it's like 2 p.m. main card. It's annoying as hell. Is Dustin Poirier Charles' best win in his career as he is in Khabib's career? Maybe. It's hard to say. If Nate actually won, do you think he flips off Dana? Definitely. Imagine Hamzat slips on a banana peel and Nate's finished him. That's the other thing. Like, even in the best case scenario, I would laugh my ass off if Nate beat Hamzat. But then Hamzat's ruined. Hamzat's literally ruined. So, it's like, it's just dumb all the way around. What's smart for Volk? Wait for the winner of 280 or do a quick title defense of Josh Emmett? Quick title defense of Josh Emmett. I mean, that's an easy win. UFC 280 right up my street, living in the UK. Finally a normal start time. Yeah, I hate it, though. I hate it. You think it's possible Rosenstrike versus Lewis could be on 280 or 281? Doubtful. Probably not till December. I think Volk should stay away from Islam. He would get destroyed. I would wait till he loses or something. Yeah, I'd rather see Volk just stay at 45. There's a lot of work to do there. But I do respect him for wanting to do it. Who do you think would win in the grappling department with Usman and Hamzat? I think it would be dead even. Do you think Dustin's choke he had on Khabib? Do you remember Dustin's choke? Yeah, the guillotine. I don't think it was as close as people made it out to be. You said on an interview, Yair said in an interview the other day, he's for sure fighting for the title. He said he wouldn't accept an interim title fight. What do you think? I think it's kind of stupid, but UFC might have already promised him one. Hamzat versus Adesanya, who wins? Adesanya. Do you remember when Charles armbar on Tony? Tony looked like it was going to bend. Yeah, he even tucked it under the armpit to wrench it even more. I don't know how Tony didn't tap. Nate Diaz goes to the Hall of Fame if he beats Hamzat. I think Nate Diaz already goes to the Hall of Fame. Dude's had so many legendary fights. Prediction on 281 upcoming fights. What do you mean prediction? Like who wins? I got early prediction Pereira, but probably going to change my mind. Or might change my mind. It's 50-50, not probably. Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler. I've literally gone over that prediction about 150 million times. And I am going with Dustin Poirier. Does Rosenstrike get cut if he loses to Lewis? No. Heavyweight division is awful. Korean Zombie versus Giga. Giga is fighting Sadiq Yusuf. Do you agree with me that Makhachev destroys Volk? Also, how do you see Charles Volk going? I think all of them are 50-50. So, but I would probably pick Charles and Islam over Volk. You're wrong. He broke Colby's jaw and put him down on punches. He TKO'd Gilbert on punches. What am I wrong about? That his striking is dog shit? His striking still dog shit. Some of the worst striking I've ever seen, especially for an elite level fighter. How would Conor and Chandler at 170 end? How would Conor and Chandler at 170 end? Probably with Chandler getting TKO'd. I don't trust his chin. Good striking and having power are two different things. Yep. And also, Colby's got some dog shit striking too. Gilbert, okay, he dropped him with a jab. I mean, don't get me wrong, Usman's striking has gotten a lot better. But it still doesn't change the fact it's mainly masked by his power and wrestling ability. I feel like Hamzat is scared of Usman because he's always talking about fighting Izzy, mainly because Izzy doesn't have the best grappling. That's just my opinion. I disagree, but okay. That's going to be just your opinion. You think if they add another title fight to 281 that Chandler Dustin will be the co-main? No, it would be the title fight, and Chandler Dustin would be the featured fight. I hope it's 5 rounds. It might not be. Does Volk drop Charles? Yes. Joey, I missed Yair Ortega. I was busy celebrating. Can you give me a quick 30-second recap? Yeah, Yair was lighting him up on the feet, but it was competitive. They got to the ground, and Brian Ortega had his arm kind of wrapped up in a weird way. He went to pull it out, and his shoulder dislocated, and so it ended right there. Was you surprised they didn't stop Holloway versus Volk 3 for his cut? I think so. Colby striking looked amazing versus Usman, though. I don't know if that was amazing. I mean, it was better than expected, but amazing, I think that's a bit much. I think Usman close boxing sucks from the distance is all right. Yeah, I mean, it's decent MMA striking, but a lot of it's masked by power and wrestling ability. Burns versus Charles in a catch weight. I don't know. If Pereira wins, does Israel get an immediate rematch? If he doesn't, who would you like to see Pereira making his first title defense against? I think Adesanya, yes, gets an immediate rematch. Prediction for Edwards Usman? I don't know. I'm 50-50 on that fight. I'll say Edwards, but I don't know. I could just as easily pick Usman too. But it's a closer fight than people are giving it credit for. UFC 279, really a shit card. Yeah, it's a shit-stained card. UFC 279 is a shit-stained card. Colby striking actually decent, just has pill. No, his striking's terrible. He literally just throws a lot of volume, but it's really terrible. I mean, it's literally so bad. He got outstruck by Damian Maia, which has some of the worst striking I've ever seen. Who do you think has the best boxing at 170? Best boxing at 170. I don't know. Probably Jorge. Off the top of my head. I think Alex winning will be the best thing that can happen. It can make middleweight division very exciting. Best for who? For the division itself? Maybe. Do you like women main eventing fight nights? Depend what fight it is. Xian Xiaonan versus Mackenzie Dern? No. Oh shit, any chance they run it back? Yair Ortega? We don't know how long Ortega's going to be out, but Yair probably doesn't deserve a title shot, but he might get it anyway. It's hard to say. I doubt they run it back. Let me put it that way. What do you think of Masvidal getting a title shot in London if Edwards wins? I mean, it's a good story. No. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. He's lost back-to-back title fights. We're going to give him... Well, yeah, he's lost back-to-back title fights and then got dominated by Colby. So, no. He's got to win a couple fights. If Charles was trying to become a double champ, if he beats Islam, will he go up or down in weight? No way he goes up. He'll get ragdolled by Usman. TJ or Aljo? I'm confident in TJ Dillashaw. Like, I haven't been more confident in a pick in a while. What is Aljo going to do to him? He's not out wrestling TJ. TJ's going to outstrike him. Usman got wobbled versus Colby a lot, though. I mean, that doesn't really mean anything. That doesn't mean anything to me. Did you enjoy the Home Vieira fight? No. Who wins, Pena or Home? Home. Joey, middleweight kind of gets heat for being a weak division. You think that's a bit harsh? Yes, I talked about it in my recent video, which I hope all you guys watch after this stream. I did a video about the middleweight division and Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira. Gave an early prediction and all that good stuff. And I just released it on the channel like maybe a half hour before I started the stream. So when I'm done here, I will link that video so you guys can watch it. Who is lurking right now? We got about 10 to 15 people talking in the chat, but we got 65 people in the stream. So let me know right this second if you're lurking in the stream. Let me know in the chat. I want to know. I want to know who's here. Luque or Neal? I'm going to go Luque. I don't trust Jeff Neal. He never pulls the trigger anymore. I used to be very high on Jeff Neal, but I'm just not high on him anymore, to be honest. Their last few performances haven't been the greatest. I'm going Vicente Luque. I think he's just better. I mean, it's going to be a close fight, though. I could see Luque clipping him a couple times, just winning 29-28 maybe. Close fight. Aside from John Jones, who's that heavyweight fight from all generation who can be a favorite against Eagle Ngannou? I have no clue. Cain Velasquez, if you're saying from anyone at heavyweight ever. Also, guys, if you're watching right now and you don't follow me on Instagram or Twitter, go follow me at MMA Joey C. I'm trying to get to 200 followers on Twitter. I'm trying desperately. So go follow me on Twitter. Go follow me on Instagram at MMA Joey C. I would greatly appreciate it. Colby's best strength is his volume and his pressure. I would agree 100%, Caleb. Is Masvidal versus Gilbert Burns legit or BS rumor? It's 50-50. I think it's very possible that it could happen, but it's hard to say. Let me clear that real quick. I like how as I'm clearing this, I get somebody follow. Shout out to Tyler Garrett, who just went and followed me on Instagram. My guy. Thank you. I'm not even close to 200 on Instagram yet. Let's see where I'm at on Twitter. Yeah, I'm 6 followers away on Twitter from 200. So if you guys could help me get to 200, I would greatly appreciate it. I tweet out stuff all the time, reacting to news. I try to post stuff more often. When I first started it, I was a little bit lazy on it, but I've been trying to post more on there, on both things. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if it's somebody else. Mr. Wonderful just followed me as well. So thank you. On Instagram at least. So thank you. Colby versus Edwards. I'll take Edwards. Does Pena have stupid fight IQ? Yes. And she's a terrible fighter in general. I was just saying because Leon Edwards says he wants to fight Masvidal in London as first title defense. Not going to happen. Doesn't make sense. It'll be either a Usman rematch or a Khamzat Chimaev fight. Could Costa versus Izzy be a draw? I kind of want to see it. They have the whole wine narrative. So, would you like to see Aldo retire if he loses to Volashvili? What do you think of fighters who keep fighting way past their prime and go on losing streaks like Silva Penn? Sad, but no. Aldo's still competing at a very high level. Isaiah is lurking. You think Morales got lucky KOing Sterling or he? No. Moraes was one of the best 135ers on the planet, and I think he still is, with one problem. This right here. The chin. Marlon Moraes was amazing. He's an amazing fighter. I thought he was going to be a champion for a while in the UFC. He was beating Henry Cejudo in a title fight up until he gassed out. It's just unfortunate his chin went. He had great power. He had great striking. He had great jiu-jitsu. His chin and his stamina was his issue. He flatlined Aljamain Sterling. And I think if he didn't have chin issues, I'd pick him against Aljamain Sterling in a rematch. Who's a fighter in the UFC currently history that could have gotten 3 belts? I have no idea. No idea on that one, my friend. Just subscribed. Appreciate the insight. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate you. I'm glad you found the channel. I still need to do my Tapology picks. I think I did mine already. Who lurking? Yeah, let me know if you're lurking. Ponzinibbio versus Michael Morales. I think that's too much of a steep step up for Michael Morales just yet. Does streaming or videos give you more subs? Definitely videos. No, streaming doesn't really give me a lot of subscribers. It's more of to talk to you guys who are already here watching the channel. And then also afterwards, people watch them, don't get me wrong. But new people are very less likely to click on an hour and 20-minute video. AKA an hour and 20-minute stream. Lurking here. Sorry, like now. Appreciate you, Jacob. Appreciate you. No problem if you're lurking. I was just curious who's lurking. I was just curious. Okay, let's see if I can. I'm still behind on the chat. How am I ever going to catch up? How a Sandhagen versus Aljo rematch would look like if the fight doesn't end in 90 seconds and fight actually plays out. That's a tough one. That's a pick 'em. I would probably pick Sandhagen. He's just so good on the feet. I just think he underestimated Aljo's grappling a little bit. And he's been calling. He wants that fight. So I would hesitantly probably pick Sandhagen for outstriking him on the feet. Aljo, and I know I'm shitting on a lot of people striking tonight. Aljo has terrible striking. It literally looks like Juliana Pena-esque. Now, that's a little bit of an over-exaggeration for sure. But it looks sloppy. It's unorthodox. I mean, he was getting lit up by Piotr Jan. I would be confident to pick Jan in a trilogy fight. Who there? That's funny. I didn't even see this. I would confidently pick Yan. I'd be 99.9% sure. Yan was overconfident. He didn't think he would have the issues he had in that fight. Is Chandler the hardest hitter, most explosive fighter in 55 ever? I don't know about ever, but maybe. If Izzy moved up and fought Prime Chael Sonnen, who's never lost before, Chael fought at 85, not 205. Very rarely did he fight at 205, so they would have fought at 205. Prime Chael would have lost to Izzy too. I would have preferred to see Luque versus Neal main event over 5 rounds. Nah, I disagree. I'd like to see Jamal Hill. Triple C was in his prime. Why would he retire? It was a negotiating tactic that backfired. You think Rockhold has a chance? Yes, but I don't trust his chin. Think Khabib's 29-0 record will ever be passed? Maybe. Also, if Yan was trying to move up a weight class, would he go up or down? He would never go. He would never do either. But I think he would. I don't think he's going either. So, Hamzat or Jorge Masvidal. Hamzat for sure. Could Corey Sandhagen TKO Song Yadong? Without a doubt. Without a doubt. If anyone can possibly become a 3-division champ, who do you think can do it? I don't know, man. There's really nobody. There's nobody. Maybe Volk. Maybe he goes down to 35, grabs a belt, goes up to 55, grabs a belt. But I think all of that's 3-division champ is a bit of a stretch. It's never going to happen. Who is Justin Gaethje's best win? Is it Tony, who was a bit old, or is it Michael Chandler? I think it's Tony Ferguson. The Tony Ferguson win. But, yeah. I think the Chandler win's very good as well. Are you more hyped for Vera versus Cruz or Aldo versus Merab? Aldo versus Merab for sure. Aldo is a terrible matchup for Aljo. Yeah, I would pick Aldo against Aljo too. Thank you, French fries. Yeah, guys, send in the questions. We're running out of questions right now. How long do you want the stream to last tonight? How long do you want the stream to last? If you want the stream to continue, post questions in the chat. But if not, we're getting out of here. So, Figgy versus Yan, who would win? And Yan versus Volk, who would win? I would take Yan to beat up Figgy, and I would take Volk to beat up Yan. I wish Yan was a little bit bigger. I would love to see that matchup. Why do you think 4 minutes of ground control with little to no damage in one round isn't a 10-8? Why do you think 4 minutes of ground control with little to no damage in one round isn't a 10-8? Because the scoring criteria is based on damage. So it's just the way the judging criteria is written. Joey, do you think Justin Gaethje is overrated, especially his punching power? I don't think so. Are you going to any MMA events soon? Did you watch PFL tonight? No, I did not watch PFL. Hopefully next year I'll go to an MMA event. Pettis is terrible now. Pettis has been falling off a cliff for a long time. Chimaev versus Edwards, I'd take Chimaev, but that'd be a close fight. I wonder if Jones could have made 180. No. He would have never made. If somehow O'Malley gets through Yan, you think he's going to has a chance to take in the belt off Aljo or TJ? I mean, if he gets through Yan, all bets are off. Did you enjoy seeing Bullitt? It was okay. I mean, it was all right. Wasn't the greatest, you know. Vera versus Merab if they both win. I like that. I like that idea. Best wrestler in 185, runners up, Sonnen, Weidman, Romero. I don't know. You named all the good ones. I can't think of any more right now off the top of my head. Best wrestler at 185. I don't know. Why is Izzy the underdog? No clue. I didn't know he was. One fight that hasn't been booked you make that's not Jones versus Stipe. Jones versus Ngannou. Sorry, my friend. I also want to see Magomed Ankalaev versus Jan Blachowicz, or Magomed Ankalaev versus Yuri Prohaska. How do you see Ty versus Gon? Gon's going to outclass him. What's up, Niles? Saw the stream and had to join. I'll think of some questions in a moment. I hope everyone is having a good night. Niles, a longtime supporter of the streams. What's going on? What's up, Joey? Much love as always. I hope you are well. Thank you. Noah, a.k.a. Machine Gun Kelly, a.k.a. Kelly. Yeah, I already knew. Let me know when you're in Vegas so I can treat you to some steaks. Treat me to some steaks. That sounds good. That sounds good. I'm coming tomorrow. I'm coming to Vegas tomorrow. Let's go to the Apex and we'll have some steaks and go to the Apex. I would love to see 280 in person. I know. Imagine everybody from the channel meets up at 280. We got to wear little name tags that says our names. You know, JJ Smoke, French Fries. You know, Niles, all wearing our YouTube names on our name tags. How many movies do you see per year? I don't know. I try to see 2 per month, so probably 24 per year. Sometimes I'll see more than 2 per month. But with my membership, so my membership costs $23 a month. And for the best theater at nighttime, the ticket's like $22. So as long as I see one Dolby movie per month, I break even. So I at least try to see 2 movies to make the membership worth it. So, I mean, Jones and Izzy kind of built the same. I don't think he could make it. Jones would wreck Izzy, but yeah, Jones not making it to 85. I don't think they're built the same. Jones is much bigger. Rockwood is probably the best wrestler at 85, but he's not really a good wrestler. He's more of like top game jiu-jitsu. The wrestling, the takedown ability isn't that great. It's once he gets you down, being on top of you. Do you think Anderson Silva is underrated? Maybe. I think it's because of the losing streak he went on. Basing on Jones' last performance against Reyes and Santos Young game, whom would you pick? Jones. I think Jones always rises to the occasion. He's shown it time and time again. Prime Stipe versus Aspinall. Stipe. You think there could be 2 title fights for MSG? I'm thinking maybe Carla Esparza, Wei Li Zhang on 281 as well. Guys, remember you heard that from me. Remember. Carla Esparza defending her strawweight title against Wei Li Zhang at MSG. Like it up in the chat. Yeah, guys, run up the likes on the chat. The real question is, what kind of stakes? I want to know what kind of stakes. How do you see a fight between Aldo and TJ playing out? Unfortunately, I could see like TJ being very competitive, Aldo getting tired in the 4th or 5th, and TJ pouring it on. You think Shavkat or Hamzat moving up to 185 move the middleweight division? I doubt it anytime soon. Maybe in the future, but not anytime soon. With the Venom gear on, why would I need a name tag? I got my custom Venom shirt. Yeah, exactly. You gotta get your custom Venom gear shirt with your name down the back before we meet up. We don't need name tags. I didn't think of that. So glad I didn't pay for like $400 for the UFC London card. Yeah, that card was terrible. Adesanya, slight favorite. Okay, there you go. I mean to say Anderson Silva overrated. No. In an alternate universe, Nate finishes Leon in the last minute instead of pointing at him. What could be next for Nate? They probably give him a title shot, honestly. Just for lulz. Abu Dhabi's going to stab Oliveira in the back. They're going to favorite Islam. Habib made a deal. Okay. My sources are telling me, as far as the Carla Esparza, Wei Li Zhang. Here, let's do this for a clip. I'll clip this out if it ends up happening. Ready? Yeah, my sources are telling me, breaking. My sources are telling me that we are going to get Carla Esparza defending her strawweight title against Wei Li Zhang at UFC 281, November 12th at Madison Square Garden. The main event, Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. There you go. If it ends up happening, I'm going to clip that out. I'm going to clip that out and put it on my Instagram. So watch it end up happening. My sources. I like how I do the little earpiece, like somebody's in my ear right now. Yeah, I got some sources telling me right now that we're looking at a strawweight title fight, co-main event of MSG. Who would you like to see Darren Till come back and fight against? Maybe Uriah Hall, or maybe Jack Hermanson. Rebook that. That's been a fight that's been booked twice and it's fallen through twice. If Usman beats Chimaev, does he go to 185? No. Probably not. How far does Muhammad Usman go in the UFC if he wins tomorrow? I don't think he goes very far. I think he's one of those guys that's kind of, unfortunately, riding the coattails of his brother's name. And it's actually really unfortunate. All right, guys. We're going to go for a little bit longer. But I need you all to do me a huge favor. Look, I need you to help me in the algorithm, okay? In the YouTube analytics, it tells me when my regular viewers, which is AKA you guys who are watching these streams, when you watch my videos for longer and you click on my videos more often, that's when they then recommend those videos to more people. So what I need you guys to do is go on my most recent video, which I give my Israel Adesanya Alex Pereira breakdown and prediction in. I talk about the MSG card. I need you guys to go watch that video, watch the entire thing, or at least as far as you possibly can. Like it and comment on it. There's 50 of you guys in here. There's 50 of you guys. I really need you to go help me out. Let's see how many likes we got on. I just put it out before I jumped on the stream, so it's only been out for a little bit. And usually my videos start off really slow and then go really crazy. We only got 21 likes on that video so far. That's insanity. But I need you guys to go to that video, like it, comment on it, and watch it to the end. I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Okay, we'll read a couple more questions, then I'm going to post that link one more time, and then I'm going to get out of here. If you're not subscribed currently, go subscribe to the channel. I try to join as soon as I see it, but sometimes I'm late to the party. Does Volkanovski fight at 45 or 55 next? I'm going to say he fights at 45. I mean, just 55 has a lot to figure out right now. I just don't see it happening. If Alex beats Israel this time, do you think his confidence is gone? It's going to definitely shake him a little bit. It's going to shake. I mean, 3 losses, and imagine he gets slept again. Yeah, but they're probably doing an immediate rematch because technically they only fought once. So, craziest moment in UFC history. I'm going to say Anderson Silva's triangle choke after losing for 4.5 rounds. What do you think about Ali Abdelaziz's Twitter tactics using fighter Twitter account? It's annoying. It's pathetic. The guy's just a straight up weirdo, and it is what it is. He gets away with it. I don't know what more to say about it. Joey, what's up, brother? Were you a WWE fan growing up? I was a WWF fan, I guess, and a WWE fan. From maybe 99 to 2002 or 2003 for a couple years, yeah. It was a good era. I still look back on clips of it to this day. You know, I don't really like it at all anymore. But back in the day, you know, Stone Cold, The Rock rivalry, that was a good time. But not anymore. Joey, do you see some Oliveira fans saying that Abu Dhabi's chief drugged Oliveira if he loses to Islam? No. Worst tattoo in the UFC history? Alan Belcher. You don't know what I'm talking about? Google Alan Belcher. RVD was my boy. Remember when they had the hardcore belt where you could just have to defend it anywhere, anytime? Are you going to see another big player to compete with the UFC in the next few years? No. I'll check out the video, whatever kind of stakes you want, by the way. Who's the best coach in the UFC in your opinion? Lots of great ones out there. I don't know. I'll go Trevor Whitman, but that's the popular opinion right now. But I don't know. I can't remember all the coaches' names. All right, guys, do me a favor. Listen, I need you guys. There's 50 of you guys in here right now that haven't left yet. Go watch the latest video. I just posted it in the chat. Go watch it. Like it. Watch it to the end and comment on it. I will respond to your comment. So go like it, watch it, and comment on it. Boost it in the algorithm if you want the channel to keep growing. Do me a favor. Go do that. Thank you for joining this stream. I will be live streaming the fight card tomorrow, so you can join me for that. We can watch, who is it? Thiago Santos versus Jamal Hill. I also have a prediction out for that main event as well on the channel if you want to check that out. Thank you guys all for joining me. I appreciate every single one of you.